Well, I got to ask you just about a couple fights real quick. Obviously, the big one, Fury and Wilder. I mean, obviously they're going to do it a third time, but what did you think about the second fight as it played out?
You know what, man? I was really impressed by Fury. I already had a lot of respect for Fury because he's a big man, bro. Like he's damn near 7 foot, and to be able to be that elusive and to be able to box like he can box, it's hard to find. I mean, the kid's almost 300 pounds, almost 7 foot, but just him in there, man, he moves like he's a lightweight, But I was very, very impressed the fact that he put everything out in the media on what he was going to do. He went out there and did it. He was fearless. He was fearless. He didn't care. I mean, of course, I was there in the building, so I seen the atmosphere and what was going on. I felt the tension, in the atmosphere. But he just, as soon as that bell rang, he soaked it all in and he ran straight to him. He ran straight to him, and everything that he said that he was going to do, he was going to press him, he was going to keep him on his back foot, but he didn't do it, recklessly at all. He pressed the action, he boxed, he used a lot of feints, a lot of jabs, and he just made his presence known, every second of that fight, man, and it was amazing to see.
Obviously when he first talked about the strategy, a lot of people thought it was just mind games, and then he actually did exactly what he said he was going to do. When you saw that strategy play out, or as it was playing out and as it was unfolding, did you look at that and say, like, oh shit, this is the right strategy, this is what he should be doing?
The crazy thing about it was I knew that he could apply it because I seen it in the last fight. Whoever his coach was, I don't know who the guy was, but of course I know the strategy was, just for him to box. That's it, box. And I've seen like certain pockets within the first fight where Fury, he got hit with a shot. He always came right back, and he wanted to get his shots back off. And he pressed Wilder for 10, 15 seconds and step to him. And Wilder kind of was flustered. And I'm sitting there looking like, man, he can really press Wilder if he really wanted to, but he always stepped right back out and went right back to boxing. So, it was really, trying to stick to the game plan. But I seen pockets within that fight where he could, kind of press the action, but do it smart and fundamentally. And the second fight, he did that. He pressed action. Like I said, it wasn't reckless. He stayed behind the jab. He stayed behind these feints, man, that just kept coming over and over and over. He stayed behind the feints, and he kept, pressing the action. Every time they got close, man, he laid that big body on him. And just continued to wear him down, man. And, he showed me a lot that fight. He showed me how fearless he was. He showed me how fundamentally sound he was to switch the game up. All the way around the board, man. He very much impressed me that fight.
So we know that, Fury can box from the outside. We know he can bang on the inside with Wilder if he needs to. They're going to fight a third time.
Yeah.
Is there anything Wilder can do? Because a lot of people, even when they were talking about the second fight, they were like, well, if Wilder wins, he's going to knock him out.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're going to fight a third time now, and I'm sure everyone's going to say the same thing. Oh, Wilder's going to knock him out. But is there anything Wilder can do differently?
I think it's going to be a different story for this third one. I think, of course, a lot of people, they're saying this and they're saying that, Wilder got exposed, blase. Which the crazy thing about it is Wilder, he had these flaws that everybody, they already knew. They knew that he wasn't the best boxer. They knew this, they knew that. Now you had a fighter that just come in there that was fearless and didn't care if he got hit. And he came and just beat up the bully. You know, so now we have to really see how Wilder's going to come back mentally, because just letting you guys know, if you're in that position of power for so long, being that confident for so long, knowing that you have something, equalizer that nobody else has, that you know that you can probably get any and everybody out there whenever you wanted to. You're extremely athletic, you're extremely, strong, you're extremely this, extremely that, and you kind of get, you kind of get taken out of that loop, and somebody kind of exposes all that, in front of everyone. You have to deal with that mentally when you go back home. Because it doesn't matter what anybody says. You were in that ring, and you knew how that felt, and now you have to go back home. You got to think about it. You don't want you don't want that nightmare to come back. You know what I'm saying? You don't want that nightmare to come back, so you need to try to, cross your T's and dot your I's, because you know how that feels. It doesn't matter how many people come around and say, oh, you may knock him out. Oh, you made this. Oh, you made that. Listen, I was in there. I hit him with 2 or 3 good shots. He didn't fall down. You know what I mean? He did some things to me that I didn't like, while I was in that ring. All those feints, all those quick jabs, like I couldn't really get out the way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you have to answer all those questions in your mind. You got to deal with that. So we really have to find out how he's going to come back mentally from this, because not too many people can, especially a lot of really, 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 really good fighters. Once they get that confidence, broken, it's hard to come back, to walk in that ring and face that boogeyman again. And I think we've seen it time and time. Of course, I went through it at the beginning. Once I lost to Ortiz the first time, it was kind of hard for me to get back in my niche. You see it with Ronda Rousey. I tell people all the time, like everybody that she beat, prior to that fight, came back and beat her after that fight. Just because mentally she just didn't have that same, that same confidence. She has all the skills you can have. Skills didn't go anywhere. It's just that mental shift and just that mental confidence. That's a whole different beast.
Yo, and Wilder's confidence was at an all-time high at that time. I mean, he was like,
Oh yeah, that's what makes it, and that's what makes the fall so tough. When you're at an all-time high, you're feeling like you're King Kong, and you get somebody to just unclothe you. You know what I'm saying? And in front of the world. I mean, it's a tough feeling that not too many people, they go through. A lot of people, they want to be, on top of that mountain and want to be the best. But when you fall, man, it's a long ass fall. You fall down. It's a lonely fall down. You know what I mean? So you have to get up and then, figure it out and not lose that confidence in yourself. You have to try to reapply that same mindset of what got you there. There are a lot of people, it's hard for them to do that.
Does that make that third fight even more dangerous? Because I mean, he was undefeated. Now he's suffered his first loss, and he's jumping right back in with the guy that beat him.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely going to be tough. I think it's going to be, definitely tough because, Fury, of course, he's going to come in a lot more confident. He had a tremendous performance, second fight. So I think he's going to try to just fine-tune, that same type of, game plan. He's going to come in a lot more confident. He's going to be talking a lot more like this here. And, Wilder, like I said, as an athlete, man, you go back home and you think about that time. You think about that loss. You think about how that felt. You think about how the fan, like you think about it all. Just me telling you from a fighter's perspective. You think about it all. You think about the fans' reaction. You think about that referee waving. Waving the fight, in front of you. You think about, that lonely walk back, to the dressing room and you sitting down and that king that walked out of that dressing room, now he comes back and now everybody in your dressing room are looking at you sad. You know what I mean? And you're hearing your opponent in the next dressing room up the hall, they just celebrate. After your demise. You know what I mean? Like, that's something that you have to really It's something you got to think about. It's something that kind of replays almost like a nightmare to you. So for Wilder, he has to go back home. Of course, he has to dial in. You know, of course, it's going to motivate him. It motivates everybody. It motivates every fighter that comes off of a terrible loss to get back and try to dominate and try to do this and try to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very easy if that game plan doesn't go exactly like you needed to go for 2 or 3 minutes. You're automatically thinking, oh my God, this shit is happening again. It's happening again. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That can throw everything that you went through right out the window. And, you know, and we can see it happen again.
Yeah. One last question about that whole saga. I'm not even really sure why I'm going to ask you this, because I know you're very politically correct, and you're going to be very careful on how you answer. But have you paid attention to this glove gate controversy that's been going on and everything?
You know what? You know, I really haven't. You know, I heard.
Good answer.
You know what I'm saying? Because I heard something about it. What you mean on the Fury end of things?
On the Fury end of the things, the glove flapping and all that stuff.
I know. You know, somebody asked me about that, and they showed me the video. And the crazy thing about it is, listen, I see people do that all the time. Like, especially boxers. You know, especially boxers, they don't like their hands to be completely in the glove because they want to kind of, you know, they want that looseness to their hand because they don't really punch hard. And it's always boxers that don't punch that hard. You know, they want to kind of have that freedom within their wrist and their hands for some reason. I think like Paulie used to do that too. I think a few other fighters, you know what I mean, I knew personally that kind of looked the same. And plus I know a lot of fighters that used to come in our training camps that were real good boxers that didn't punch hard. They just wanted to always have that loose. They hated their gloves on them really, really tight for some reason.
Is it a situation though where, like, because they're making it sound as though like he pulled his hand all the way down to the bottom, right?
What does that have to do with it? I mean, he's punching dude. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? He's still throwing punches. It doesn't matter if he had a damn, you know, if they didn't have any gloves at all. It didn't matter. You know, he was punching. He's hitting the guy in front of him, period. You know what I mean? He didn't have no illegal situation in his gloves. He didn't, just because he had gloves on his hand, period. He didn't, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, I believe that skills paid the bill for him that night. And that's it. There's no other way to try to look at it. They can't say, oh, he didn't have his hand all the way in the gloves. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, I mean, you know, whatever he did, you know, it took care of business that night.
Yeah. Good. I guess the good news, the one shining light out of that is that Deontay Wilder has some diehard boxing fans. He has some diehard fans that are going to bat for him over that. So
over that situation.
Yeah.
What is that going to? I mean.
As long as he don't buy into that, you know, I mean, I think that's the dangerous thing.
But it's like if I'm a fighter, I'm in the ring fighting this kid. Yeah, this kid is punching me. You know what I mean? Now y'all saying that he had his hand halfway out of the glove and was punching me like halfway, like that makes me feel a little bit more crazy. That he wouldn't even punch me with his full fist. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, what is that gonna do? It don't make no sense.
Yeah.